Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way.
I first saw Oklahoma when I was something like 7 or 8 years old. I was totally overwhelmed by the color and the movement of this production that I'd only seen in black and white photos.
Histories of the Broadway musical are usually divided into pre- and post-Oklahoma phases, so up to 1943 and after 1943. There's no question that Oklahoma had a huge influence at the time.
The plot structure is so sound, where every tiny little piece, every character that seems insignificant is woven into the fabric of it and has a complete story.
It was an artistic achievement that had never happened before in the Broadway music theater, which is all the elements work together. The scenic designs, the costume designs, the orchestrations. It actually appeared that one person had created Oklahoma.
The show, Oklahoma, started out with a play by Lynn Riggs, a play called Green Grow the Lilacs, that the Theatre Guild produced in 1931.
Oklahoma tells basically the same story as the play. The central conflict is the sort of love triangle between Laurie Curley and the play, it's Jeter. That triangle is there.
So the Theatre Guild were getting interested in the idea of taking plays and turning them into musicals of some kind. Richard Rodgers and Hammerstein, I think, thought that this was just a one-shot deal.
Nobody really had a preconceived notion that here was going to be the magic team that was going to take the musical theater forward.
I mean, normally in a musical on Broadway in the late 30s and 40s, you'd have a big opening chorus number, the dancers would come on, do the high kicks, and everyone would get kind of excited about the show. It was a kind of audience warmer.
Well, this musical went up, and there was an old middle-aged lady sitting in the center of the stage, churning butter. There was a voice that said, "Oh, what a beautiful morning," and then we were off.
It was the word of mouth. It was like a hurricane. It was a firestorm. The lines were going around the block.
And it was a huge success. It was sold out.
It is a show that gets done everywhere. I mean, I think the statistics are there's probably a show running or in rehearsal every second of every day.
It says a lot about how perfectly this work and all of the parts of it and all of the artistic achievements melding together created something that epitomized who we were. We were at war. We were absolutely at war.
I mean, Aunt Eller has this marvelous speech about that's life. This is what happens. You deal with it, you get over it, and you move on. And
Aunt Eller says, "It's all right, Laurie, baby. If you can't forget it, just don't try to."
Lots of things happen to a woman. Sickness, or being poor and hungry even. Being left alone in your old age. Being afeared to die. And you can stand it. There's one way. You gotta be hardy. You gotta be.
And it became what America was about. It represented America. It represented why we were fighting, what we were fighting for.
Agnes de Mille talks about the opening night, that the curtain went up, Curly was heard singing, and there was an audible gasp in the audience that somehow Rodgers, Agnes de Mille, Ruben Mamoulian, Hammerstein had just captured something. And once that thing was captured, it just took off.
To do Oklahoma now would be to recapture that initial excitement.
There are a number of traditions at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts that goes back to very much the beginning. And one of them is something called the all-school musical.
An all-school musical in the Stevens Center offers the students a much more professional experience.
The University of North Carolina School of the Arts is unique in the world. There's no school like it for so many reasons, but one of the reasons that makes it unique is that it's music, dance, drama, filmmaking, and design and production, so that every aspect of a production of a musical is done inside the school.
It usually also gives us a sizable project so that the students get to see what it is to really do a full stage of scenery and a full load of costumes.
We don't have to find people from a costume building shop to make our costumes because the students do that. The scenery is painted by the students. The orchestra plays. The orchestra's students and the stage management. Everybody.
Students will learn a tremendous amount by seeing how nearly perfect that show was and still is. It doesn't need new costuming. It doesn't need new scenery. It doesn't need anything. It's so full of joy, which was one of the things I think that made it so popular. Originally, we were in the middle of the war. It was a real spirit lifter. I think that quality will be there again.